my state, they use them to shoot prairie dogs and, other types of varmints. And so I think that there are legitimate reasons why people would want to have them.
That was a video featuring South Dakota Senator John Thune, who was asked, why is it that Americans need AR-15s? The kind of weaponry that's used in mass shootings, like the shooting in Uvalde at Robb Elementary School, where 19 fourth graders were gunned down by a mass shooter, to the point where the bodies of the victims were unrecognizable. Why would Americans need that? Well, as you heard John Thune say, you need it for these cuddly little creatures here. The varmint that he specifically noted, let's go to the first graphic. These are prairie dogs. Really, you need an AR-15 for that? That's what you need an AR-15 for?
And by the way, so
they're super cute, by the way. Don't shoot
okay,
them.
All right. So let's say you got to shoot them for whatever reason. Are you a better hunter if you shoot them like this, like that, like an idiot, and God knows what else you're gonna hit? Or are you a more sophisticated, better hunter if you actually use a rifle that doesn't fire like the bullets at the rate that the AR-15 does? No, come on, man. No, guys, this is sick on every level. He's saying it's okay that those kids are dead. As Matthew McConaughey explained earlier today, the exit wounds on the AR-15s are so large, it makes the body unrecognizable. But this mother effer says he's got to shoot varmints. And he says that with a straight face, as if like, oh no, your kids are dead, but it's okay, because I had to shoot varmints. And look, anytime you go to varmints, you're Looney Tunes, like literally. I mean, this is like a cartoon character. Mitt Romney said it too.
In 2012.
Yeah, they asked him, oh, are you into guns? He's not into guns, he's a billionaire, whatever he is, right? And he's like, oh yeah, I use it to shoot varmints. Okay, I mean, it was funny when Romney said it, but it's not that funny anymore. With
no, it's not.
Several massacres a day with dead children all across the country. This son of a bitch is still talking about varmints.
Well, we know why, and we'll get to why in just a moment. But I thought this tweet was excellent. Velocity of AR-15 creates a temporary cavitation so large any varmint struck would explode into a mess of tissue and bone. You know what? Let's get off the graphic. I'm gonna keep reading it. I just want you guys to go back to that B-roll of the adorable, cute, cuddly creatures as I'm explaining what would happen to their bodies as someone uses an AR-15 against them. Again, velocity of the AR-15 would cause any varmint struck to explode into a mess of tissue and bone. There are no legitimate reasons for proliferating this weapon of war, but Senator John Thune knows his minority rule depends on terrorism. Well, also his campaign coffers depend on it. So let's take a look at the next graphic that gives you a sense of just how much money these senators have taken from the NRA. So one of the top senators collecting that NRA money, of course, is Senator Mitch McConnell, Senate Minority Leader, at nearly $1.3 million. But Thune is on that list to the tune of $638,942. So he knows who signs his checks. And so he'll come up with any excuse regarding, regardless of how humiliating it is, by the way, to use, like to vocalize the excuse, as long as the check clears. That's all that matters.
Well, part of the reason why he could say something so absurd and so offensive is because he knows we don't really have a media in this country. Nobody's in the mainstream media is gonna say, oh, that guy's a crook, he took bribes. What do you think the 638,000 from the NRA is for? Because with general welfare? Because like, oh, John Thune, oh, he seems like a nice guy. Let's give him $638,000. No, the money comes in from the gun manufacturers, goes to the gun lobby, and then they give it to the politicians. The politicians make sure that there's no gun control, so more people buy guns, and then people panic after the massacres and they buy even more guns, which allows them to funnel more bribes, their bribes to John Thune. So John Thune can laughingly go, yeah, we're shooting, what difference does it make? Let's make up something ridiculous and rub it in their face. Varmints, that's what it is, varmints. Why? Because CNN and all the others, they're never gonna call him out. They're never gonna tell you why this crook is in office, the amount of bribes he takes, and why he doesn't mind your children being murdered. Those are facts, but they'll never tell you that. That's why he could rub it in your face.
And he's not the only Republican politician who's used this excuse. You also have Representative Ken Buck, who's a Republican from Colorado. Why don't we hear what he had to say?
In rural Colorado, an AR-15 is a gun of choice for killing raccoons before they get to our chickens.
Killing raccoon, you need an AR-15 to kill the raccoons. By the way, my dad had a problem with raccoons, and you know what he did? He bought a raccoon trap that safely and humanely traps the raccoon in a cage. And then he took the raccoons to, what's the government organization for animals? Animal welfare. And they handled it, they dealt with it.
No, he should have gone in the backyard in LA and just been like, and just like, and maybe the bullets will fly off and kill a person, a baby, it doesn't matter. The Republicans would have celebrated him, he would have become a hero. They would have put him on convention after convention. So guys, you all know, even if you're a Republican, that this isn't about raccoons and varmints. You know that, right? So you know, even and especially if you're a right-wing voter, you know even better than Democratic voters. Those are all bribes, you know that, right? 800 some odd thousand to that lying son of a bitch politician, you know that. So by the way, on this issue, the 4 proposals McConaughey put forward are so universally agreed upon by everyone in the country, including Republican voters. So that's the minimum age for the AR-15 to be 21, not to be banned, just the same thing as buying a beer, okay? Universal background checks, which have 97% popularity, waiting period for AR-15 so this guy doesn't just grab one and go into the school like he did in Uvalde, and red flag laws. We all agree to it. Republicans, are you ever going to hold your own politicians accountable, or do you not mind the bribery? Do you like the corruption? Do you like the swamp? Because right now, and by the way, all of your right-wing talk show hosts, they're also corrupt, super corrupt. So they're all telling you, oh yeah, guns are great, don't do any gun regulation, don't do any gun regulation. Where's my check? We don't do any gun regulation. But wait a minute, all of the actual Republican voters say yes, we should do federal background checks. So think about why your media is purposely lying to you and why your politicians are purposely lying to you. Because every single one of you knows it's not about the goddamn raccoons.